Hello there, prospective members of the Terror Squad. It's Dan Casey from Sagas of Sundry Goblin Mode, aka ya boy Fibs. Now, you might be wondering, hey Dan, where is Goblin Mode episode 12? It was supposed to be in my feed this week. Well, folks, we're actually going on a mid-season break. After the thrilling finale to episode 11, if you know, you know, we're going on a mid-season break for the holidays because even goblins and skeletons need to go back and see their families once in a while. Now, our ongoing story episodes of Goblin Mode will resume January 6th, 2025, but don't worry, we're not going to leave you high and dry. Rather, we have a bunch of fun surprises cooked up for you that are going to be deploying each and every week across Geek and Sundry. Today, I'm really excited. We have episode 0. If you've played RPGs, you may know what this is. This is the first time any of us sat down to play together at a table. This is the first time any of these characters were given life. You get to see us create these characters in real time and go on a full-on prequel adventure 5 years, maybe 10 years, 5 years at least. Who knows? 5 to 10 years, let's call it that, before the events of episode 1. So, without further ado, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoy Goblin Mode episode 0. Hi everyone, welcome to the session 0 for a to-be-titled series on Geek and Sundry in partnership with Realm. It is a sprawling fantasy epic, the likes of which you've never seen before, especially if you've never seen any fantasy before. Now, we're going to have a lot of fun on this. We're going to tell an ever-evolving story, improvisational, emergent narrative with some of the funniest, most talented people I know. We have an amazing storyteller, Amy Vorpahl.
Hi.
We have an incredible cast. We have Jason Nguyen, Danielle Radford, and
Hello.
me, your boy, Dan Casey, who, yes, I happened to be here and walk into the studio, and here we are. So I'm very excited about this. This is something we've been working on for a long time, but today we're just going to have a lot of fun. We're going to sort of get used to what it's like to play as a group, and I believe that Amy has prepared something for us, so I will hand over the reins to you.
Oh my gosh. Well, awesome. I wanted to, get a feel for getting it. So we're going to be playing D&D 5e, 5th edition rules for the main game. But for session 0, I wanted something that would be a little more simplistic, that didn't make you define exactly all the stats and numbers for your character sheet. And also, you are level 0. You're not level 1 yet. So I decided that we would play a lasers and feelings modification. And lasers and feelings is a game that has basically like maybe 2 rules and 2 mechanics, and it's by John Harper, and it's based on the songs of the Double Clicks, who are my friends. So it's all coming together. But first, I did want to just kind of go over what the world and like what our goals for the storytelling actually are, because I want to also talk about where you all think that your characters might fit and what your characters might be. What we're playing with is, or you all are playing the henchmen of a kind of cartoony villain's lair. Cartoony meaning could be Dungeons and Dragons. There, it is going to be very grounded, but we're going to go with more of the like, oh, you are the guys that, you go to fight the evil sorcerer, and then they just start sending you people to kind of take your number, go downy. As you fight, and your job is also to make their number go downy, and as you make their number go downy, then the bad guy's number go downy also. But in the grand scheme of things, and the way that storytelling works is that these numbers, these hit points, kind of are just hit points. They're lackluster. They mean nothing. They may or may not even. They definitely don't have any names. But you all are playing those people, so you do have names and you do have motivations and wants and needs, and we're just going to play with the kind of biology and the way the dungeons work, the ergonomics or lack thereof of a real dungeon, and how you fit in there. So the way the first episode, not today, but the way the first episode will start is that you've been in this world. You're these henchmen, you're minions, for lack of a better term, and you're just going about your lives, marching through the dungeons or whatever. But where we're starting is the dungeon has been overtaken, and it was, looted. The big bad was killed, and you're left with nothing. Like actually they thought they wiped the whole dungeon. You're kind of the last ones left alive. So today we're going to be playing like the version where you get carted in and are assigned a role. It's your first day at work. And yeah, but the world itself, we will be going out in the world. So it's not just going to be like you exploring the remnants of what the dungeon that has been decimated is. Like, oh, I never knew that this lever did that.
Unless we all refuse
Oh my
to
God. That's true. That's true. I forget that I'm not in charge here. But you'll be going out in the world just with your mindset of like, oh, this is how my world works in these very cartoony rules. And then you'll be going out in the world experiencing that maybe the world is bigger and worse off or better off than you thought.
So we are henchmen for sure, and we're in a dungeon, and so where the story might take off is us either leaving the dungeon or maybe staying in the dungeon. Is that what it sounds like is gonna happen?
You'll be leaving the dungeon.
We might be.
God help us all. You'll be we'll start. Well, I haven't decided exactly like what the story is going to be at the very, very, very beginning, but yeah, right. By episode 2, you'll be out in the world for sure.
Cool.
So you'll be starting at level 1 on episode 1. And just so, I mean, you probably already know this, but in D&D, if you're a level 1 character, you are an adventurer. Like you're cool. You've got magic, you've got your skills. Something happened that turned your life into something greater than other people's. So like 99% of the population are commoners / non-combatants, and then you as a level 1 person already, even though you're weaker than other heroes, you still are a hero. So something has happened in between your first day and where you are now that's like, oh wait, actually, like you actually have skills. That being said, you're very low level in the dungeon. In Unzug is the big bad's name. So you're still low level. You actually have never really even interacted with Unzug. And you're still, even years later after your first day, you're still in the proverbial mailroom. There's a hierarchy and you're still at the bottom of it. Fighting adventurers, you would just be the minions that are supposed to be killed. And how you've lasted this long is very, very important that you've lasted this long. It's kind of cool, actually. You were supposed to be dead and pummeled on the pavement, just a juicy sack of meat and flesh ages ago. Anyone have any ideas of like where they want to fit in or what their character might be?
I love Affable Evil. I think Affable Evil is super funny. So like I wanted to play kind of with the idea of there's a little bit of that like bureaucracy of just being like a hench person, but also like, one of these days, like I'm going to get, like whatever the version of the brass ring is here, probably something cursed, like really trying to like, if they keep noticing me, very much that scene in like Coming to America. It's like, see, today I'm washing lettuce. Like that's kind of the attitude.
Okay. Aspirational.
Yeah. And also like just very like very nice and sweet, but it's like, yeah, no, like evil's what I do. It's like, sometimes you like stab a dude, sometimes whatever. But I also like a nice cup of tea or whatever. So like a little bit of that mixed with like maybe some like Michael in The Good Place of I'm like a nice person. I do evil stuff, but that's like my job,
Cool.
Like, look, heroes need to be killed. Whatever, that's fine. They suck.
Is there a race that you're thinking of? That is one thing that I will want to keep the same, like from this game to the first game, is your race that you're playing.
I was thinking orc. I've never been an orc.
Okay. Yeah. And keep in mind, that's a good one. If there's anything that's kind of even off the beaten path where you're like, oh, maybe I could play a kobold or a goblin or a skeleton, like we can do that too. I really want to, if there's off the beaten path races, like I really want to picture that these minions are really like literally their jobs are to march 1, 2, 3 steps, wait 2 beats, march to the left 3, 2, 3.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like you're really your code in a video game.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, then
initially,
I would love to do a skeleton. I'm just thinking very like
exactly where I was landing.
Yeah,
Like
because I'm
stock
thinking.
standard, like rusty iron sword, tattered mail. Like the way I envision it for this first is episode 0 is this is the first day he has been brought back to life, and he is just thrilled about it. And he thinks that Unzug is the coolest thing since sliced bread. The power to resurrect people and command the necromantic arts. Oh my God, what an amazing thing to do. I wonder if I could do that someday instead of just marching around with this rusty iron sword. Maybe I could trade that in for a spell book, but nah, maybe I'm thinking too far above my station. I better really impress the boss. If I do a good job, maybe Unzug will take notice.
Yes. Okay, fantastic. I love it.
I love all of this. Now knowing that they're like just the henchmen that are like marching on beat and like that's all they're doing. Initially, I was thinking like of playing a tabaxi because I've never played anything like that. You know, that's
Ooh.
like a cat person. I've never played anything like that before, but it sounds like it might be cooler to play a goblin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because I love the idea of like characters whose only purpose has been to follow orders and now it has like there's a big void and they have to figure out who they are. And so there's something about that that I want to incorporate, like this character who's, you know, not necessarily dumb, but like quite gullible. And maybe that's how they ended up in this army in the first place, right? That's sort
Yes.
of where I'm inching towards right now.
Okay. So if not, so someone who's just like at the outset physically looks like an evil person, like that would be like a goblin or skeleton. We could do undead. We could do, I made a list. You could do like an evil beast or an imp, like a fiend kind of character, imps or kobolds, messed up elementals. They have, what are they called? I can't remember, but like mushroom myconids
Oh
and
yeah, the little mushroom people.
little mushroom
Right.
people, they're monsters. I mean, if you have a monster manual, you might flip through. I mean, I'm down to like mess with stats and character builds for anything. But yeah, are any types like you could be a fey creature, a fey evil creature, or construct? Here's what I was thinking: is you are a warforger, you are machine. Obviously, we can have you have some bionic parts too, like. Back in the day, you were whatever you were, a tabaxi or something, but now you're this kind of almost a droid, like a Star
Mm.
Wars droid. And what you can do is have the limbs, but you can detach them at will or crumple in a pile together and then build yourself back up. So it's kind of like almost like the skeleton. Like the skeleton can, I mean, pretty with a small like a small spell, something that's not too powerful, could just be resurrected. Maybe one of you could even resurrect it. Just be like, oh my God, we've got to respawn him again. Let's wait for him to respawn, you know? And just like that, you could get torn to shreds,
Mm.
almost like C3PO, and just be like, okay, well, we're carrying him around on our backs right now, but all we have to do is go get his legs. So whenever we can connect his legs again, like I like this idea that there's something preventing you from actually dying because by all rights, after years of being in this dungeon, you should be dead. You should be so
Mhm.
dead, and you're just not. Um,
Tabaxis have 9 lives.
Tabaxis have 9 lives.
That's
You could be,
true.
yeah, like you could be shaped like a tabaxi, but I would want it to lean a little bit more. Tabaxi feels, this is just my perception. They feel heroic. They feel like adventuring heroes, and I want a minion.
Yeah, no,
Makes
I'm
sense.
I'm absolutely down.
Okay. Well,
I'm
what do you think?
I like the idea of Warforged. I also like the idea of like there's something about Goblin that is appealing to me too, because they're
Okay.
just like the fodder, you know what I mean? Like in
Yes.
every D&D session or every game I've ever played, they're just like goblins are the first no questions asked, you know, they're getting an axe to the face for no reason.
Yeah, and they're normally gross and like have some bodily
Yeah.
fluid coming out of something all the time.
Yeah. I kind of like that because I feel like Warforged is cool, but I feel like for me, I would end up t just being really risky, like in a maybe bad way, you know. Like if I
Oh
knew that I
no.
was like, oh yeah, I could just repair myself.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't, yeah, I will say like even if the skeleton dies, like I don't want it to be like, oh, we can just do and he's back to life. Like
Right.
there will be stakes and challenges to it, but the logic of you guys surviving for what I think is like a decade in a dungeon where you're meant to be fodder is
Mm.
there is something to it where it's like, oh yeah, like there's necromantic arts maybe for the skeleton, but there's also, yeah, you're like recycled.
Yeah.
Like on LinkedIn, it would say the average employee stays here for 6 months.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. But somehow you've continued.
Defied the odds.
Yeah, you've defied the odds, exactly. I love a goblin. I love a skeleton. Danielle, you were going down a little bit of both of those paths. Do you wanna hop on board, or do you want to try something else?
No, I really like the skeleton because I'm just thinking like
Okay.
Jason and the Argonauts, just like like because like I just like the idea of being as part of a phalanx and being as part of like that group, and then of course with all the fun things of like, oh no, I'm just bones. How do I be less bones? Yeah, well, no, because like, and then that's also when you go in the real world and it's like, oh, like you're so used to fighting the big fleshy people. And when you are obviously like a skeleton, like immediately as soon as people look at you, like they want to attack you.
Yeah,
Like they're drawn to attack you.
yeah, they immediately think you're a threat. You'll be dealing with some some absolute in-world prejudice against
Yeah.
evil minions, which you are. Okay,
So
so
evil.
if we have two skeletons and a goblin, does that feel good, or do y'all want to like keep talking about it?
Honestly, I feel like I've had that fight where it's been two skeletons and a goblin. I feel like
I'm down with being.
I feel like I've been in that dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And Dan, you mentioned that you found some homebrew.
Yeah,
a
I found a cool homebrew for playing skeletons and undead specifically.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. And then Jason, we'll work together. I think Volos has some character builds, or
Yeah.
some like how to play a PC for some monsters. Maybe goblins. I can't remember, but I think we might be all set there too. And then also, yeah, if I'm down, for homebrews. I'm down for this also to be a game that's, I don't want to say, well, it'll be the rule of cool. It just is the rule of cool. And we're fudging with the normal high fantasy tropes, so that'll be fine.
Is it gonna gum up the works for you too much if you were you envisioning like 3 different
Yeah.
player races? Because I'm happy to change the concept.
No, I'm not. I wasn't envisioning anything. I like literally what I was envisioning. I mean, I really was envisioning video game code where it's like,
Okay.
Like the guys in Zelda that just march around. So I
Okay.
mean, as
'Cause
far as race,
I had that other character concept. I could pivot to a sort of like weird Warforged with just a little bit of like biological matter left, or just
no,
whatever's gonna work.
I think this works. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to have one fleshy goblin and one bony and two bony bone people.
I'm not gonna trust us bone folks. You gotta go in there.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I'm very happy with it, and it does fit the bill. And I think well, it'll be nice to have, we'll have the Dan version, whatever his character is, and we'll have the Danielle version of skeletons, and see that not all skeletons are the same, not even all minions are the same, not even all video game code is the same.
They are all named Dan though. Every
I
skeleton
know,
is
when I
named
was
Dan.
saying that, I was like, oh my gosh, Dan and Danny.
Very
Okay,
specific
cool.
graveyard he robbed.
Oh, this homebrew looks really cool.
Yeah,
They did.
I'm
I was
looking
gonna
at
say
that
they
now.
did a good job with it, and I sidebarred with another DM pal of mine. I was like, does this look broken to you in any way? The thing that he had flagged was, I think it was Bone Pile, which he thought was quite funny, where it's an ability where when you're reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, you can drop to 1, and in doing so, you just reduce yourself to a pile of bones and you go prone. And it's like you're under the death spell, but you can't move or take actions other than ending that effect till the you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. So it's kind of like the half orc ability, where I forget what it's called, where it's like relentless endurance, where if they go down to 0, they automatically go back to 1 hit point because they're just built for tough. So that's definitely same vein, but it didn't seem to be overtly broken like some of the other homebrew stuff I've seen out there.
That's great. That's a really, yeah, that mechanic fits in with like, yeah, video game rules where you're like, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking again of Zelda where you like kill the skeleton people, and then they're still bouncing around. Yeah, and they're not dead yet, and they could just rebuild if they find anyway, whatever. Yeah, but that's a really cool mechanic.
Yeah, I'm looking through this. Can I throw my bones at people? Am I able to throw bones?
I'll allow it.
There is a rule. There is a in this. It says bone to pick. Whenever both of your hands are free, you may choose to use a free hand and a bonus action to remove one of your hands or arms, and then it counts as a weapon, a
Hell yeah.
finesse weapon that does 1d6
Oh my
bludgeoning
gosh.
damage.
They've thought of everything. This is great. I want to know who to give credit to because this is
It's
fantastic.
down there at the bottom. This is Wallrock Homebrew, and it says on here design. I don't know if this is the Photoshop design or what, but I believe it's from Wallrock Homebrew.
And Jason, if the goblin doesn't have fun stuff like that, we'll come up with some mechanics.
No. I love that. I honestly am in love with the idea of being like a plain Jane goblin who has no idea.
Basic. Okay,
You know what I
great.
mean? Like he should have like no advantages, you know?
Yes, awesome. Okay, cool. I've heard the races. I've heard kind of where your mindset is. The skeleton thinks that Unzug is the best thing since sliced bread. Other skeleton, Danielle, you're kind of aspirational. And this isn't forever, even though it's been a long part of your life. And then Jason, where's your mind at for this goblin?
I think for right now it's goblin discovering morality. But he's like he's about to die and doesn't, right?
Okay, so you're having an
Yeah.
existential crisis kind of.
Existential crisis goblin, for sure. Existential crisis goblin. And for some reason, maybe he has all his moves, but I just love the idea of a character who can't stop falling down for no reason at all. Maybe he's got like maybe he's very unlucky, maybe he's got balance issues, but like tripping all the time, I think is an interesting thing for a henchman to be doing.
Yes, just out of really clumsy, I guess, but I guess
Clumsy.
that
Maybe
would be
that's his like anxious thing that he does. It's just fall down.
Manifests in Mr. Magooing his way out of imminent death.
Yeah, exactly.
Like trips a tripwire, but then the blade just misses it.
Yeah.
I love this, Jason. I want to make your existential crisis come in episode 1 or 2, or like at the beginning of that. Maybe not session 0.
Right.
Session 0. I mean, all of you are just kind of like, yeah, this is my lot in life. It's kind of like you graduated from college and then you think you have to get a job like that because that's what's been told to you. Like that's what you do. So wherever you're coming from, that is what happens. I also like the idea of these skeletons, like having a past actual life that you just don't know about yet, or
That was 100% my character concept. It's basically, as long as he can remember, he's wanted to work for Unzug because he can't remember anything that happened before his bones suddenly came back to life. He's curious about it, but doesn't even know where to start looking. But it's like always like a nagging thing at the back of where his brain would be of what happened to me? How did I get here? And maybe if I learn some of the secrets that Unzug knows, if I can get to his level, I can learn the truth.
Amazing. Here's a question. As far as skeletons go, skeletons mean that you are a skeleton of a creature that was once alive. So are you human skeletons?
At least in my initial sort of plotting, he has no idea. That's part of it. He doesn't know what he was. He thinks he was a human, but he's like, I don't know, was I a half elf? Would they have pointy ears? I guess they wouldn't have ear bones. That's cartilage, but
okay.
More like, is he several different bone structures welded together? But in my head, I think it was ultimately going to be human.
Okay, or we could say humanoid at least.
Yes.
Okay, great. And Danielle, is there?
Yeah, I think humanoid as well. Just because I'm trying to think if I do other races, I think I would wind up making it a hat on a hat. Like I just know myself. So it would wind up being like way too much.
Okay.
So yeah, I think sticking with humanoid is good.
Okay, and then we'll get into stats like how tall you are and just like your overall presence, like if you're thick boned or frail and bird boned. Anything else that y'all want me to know or that you're thinking, or any questions about the world before we get started?
Are we thinking about class yet? Are we thinking, is that something
I'd love to hear any ideas for class? Because yeah, we will be playing with the D&D 5e classes.
I'll just say I'm always, the way I usually approach it is I like to find out what the party needs, and I usually try to fill that gap. So if you feel passionate about something, please go right ahead. I don't want to step on any toes.
I've never done it before because it just feels so like out there, but I've always wanted to try playing an artificer. It feels so different than anything I've ever done before. And now I'm thinking the idea of a goblin with a gun is like super funny to me.
Yeah.
He's got a gun.
He got a gun, run.
I mean, that I like that, because then it could be explained, like if we fall apart, you at least have the artificer knowledge to maybe put us back together.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I love artificers too. They're a newer class, and I've never run a game with an artificer. No, that's not true. Oh my God. I ran a game for like my little nephews when they were like 5 and 7 and 8, and the 5-year-old chose artificer, and because he liked the idea of having a pet robot that would follow him around. Of course he did. And so, but he like got like it was like, oh, artificers can really, I mean, they can be pretty powerful, especially when you start like messing with stuff and creating stuff. So yeah, great. Done.
Great.
I was thinking, because so much of this is kind of that like born, well, not sexy in this point because we're all like gross and miniony, but like that like born sexy yesterday kind of trope of us like coming into the real world. I think it would be really funny to like be a bard, like like trying to figure out like how to be like like, oh, apparently I can talk to animals, or like, oh, humans play like, when I was in the dungeon, I never played a lute.
Yeah, you just had to come out of, you just had to shake things up a bit, and then you found like some hidden talent.
Right. And when you're constantly like being, like downed, not dead, but like being downed or like fighting and stuff. So yeah, so once you go into the world, it's like, oh, music, oh, I can do that. Or I've never tried that. Maybe I can like give that a shot, and like that can be part of the exploration of like, what does it mean to be like a person who isn't just made to collapse into bones while someone is like looking for, treasure or whatever.
Yes, because you're discovering like your soul, like you have a voice. Oh my God, that's hilarious. The skeleton discovers they have a voice. Okay, great.
Prepare for a lot of bad singing.
I'm ready for it.
Bring it up. Then we can release the original cast album. It'll be perfect.
Dan, any thoughts? So far we have a lot of support characters, which
so
I'm all about.
Wow, it's crazy. We keep dying in every fight.
No constitution.
Based on that, I think what I would opt towards is just playing off of that like Skyrim ass like
Draugr
doc skeleton, not a Draugr, because I hate them and they just pop out and jump scare you.
Okay,
that's why you just attack every corpse you see in life and in Skyrim. So I think what I would do is probably go for a fighter, so that way we have someone to be kind of like playing off the idea that, oh yeah, he's spent his time in this dungeon basically just being like, he's earned that rust on his iron sword. He's like been in a lot of like skeleton wars. He's just always getting sent into battle and somehow emerging unscathed, or just a little bit scathed as a treat. And I think eventually, kind of want to play into that curiosity about maybe some like forbidden lore, either multi-class into wizard or sorcerer or something like that, or maybe look for something like, I'm looking on D&D Beyond right now and looking at like maybe like an Eldritch Knight or something like that, where it's flashing a little bit into spell casting. So it's not, because I find the fighter pretty boring as like the level scales up. So having that flex ability, I think, would be more
I'm so glad you said ability.
Yes.
Instead of just having that flex of spells.
Have that flex.
Yeah. That's
you can't flex. There's no muscle matter.
Nothing to flex.
Right.
I like
that.
Would
just droop.
I like that. I like a little more, starting a little more basic as well. Yeah, I mean, all of this sounds really good. I know, Dan, you're trying to fill in a hole, but we don't have to fill in a hole. Like, I am so down with everyone being a support a support character.
Okay, I mean, because otherwise he would have been like wizard, like he would have been trying to work his way up to sort of like necromancer's apprentice. But I'm
I
happy
mean,
to.
I also like, I guess because you were so enamored with the necromancy, like there could be a warlock in there too.
Oh, he makes a deal with some sort of entity to be like, Unzug will never let me read his books, so I got to find my own path. Oh, what's this? What's this rune I should touch?
Yeah, I don't want to like tell you what to do,
No,
but like there's part of me that's
story.
like just to like choosing a fighter just to, okay, we need a tank. Like that's so 2000s D&D. You know, like we might
You're
I
telling me
guess
I'm 2000 and late, Amy?
I'm just saying that like it might, especially based on the premise, like it might be really fun to have kind of
Three glass
squishy.
cannons.
Like, yeah, not the ideal party, maybe.
Yeah, I want to lean more that way. Again, I don't want to tell you what to do, but
I don't know then.
I'm not out here being like, ooh, I can kill them immediately. It's just
All wizards, no HP, can't only.
oh my God. Oh my gosh. But yeah, what do y'all think? Because it's going to be your party. Would you like a
I
tank
love the
person?
idea that they were never meant to be an adventuring group. So it would make
Okay.
sense that like it's like they didn't recruit like the fighter and the healer. I think it's like like a bard and an artificer and like a wizard. What? You know what I mean? Or like
Who
what
survived magic?
yeah, it ends up being. It's like, how are they gonna make it? To me, that's really
Right.
interesting.
Right. Like they wouldn't have put this party together. It's just that they were the ones that survived.
They
And
survived, right?
yeah. What do you think, Dan?
I dig that. I like the idea that I was just trying to find a way like, okay, how can I ramp out of being just a fighter? But that is yeah, I will happily
Oh,
be.
the easiest way to ramp out of not being a fighter is to not be a fighter.
Of course.
Is so some kind of spellcaster? Do you want to hint at one or the other at the moment, or just
Yeah, I mean, I was probably leaning wizard, but let me look
great?
at from a narrative perspective, let me do some digging and see if warlock or sorcerer makes more sense. I kind of like, if I remember properly, sorcerer, it's a little less controlled and a little less studied.
Yeah, sorcerer, you're just born with it in your blood. You have dragon ancestry on some level. Even if you're a human, there's some dragon magic going on just in your blood. So you just have magic. You're right about warlock. You make a pact with a demon, and the
Yeah.
demon is actually giving you the magic. And then yeah, wizard is studied through book.
We can probably talk about this more in the character creation session too, but I'm just thinking like, okay, there's definitely different pathways in. Like maybe I one day plucked up the courage to read one of Unzug's books and accidentally summoned a demon who had power. Just my curiosity got the better of me.
But I also love, I mean, yeah, like if you're a wizard, you do have to carry around a spell book. Like you do have to,
Yeah.
like, so this skeleton is just got his
Just
most
open my
important.
ribcage like a little cabinet and keep it in there.
Yeah, and also
like a little curio.
Yeah.
and your spell book, I mean, since you are a minion, it doesn't have to look all ornate or whatever. Like your spell book it probably looks like cobbled together newspaper parchment.
Yes. Just some spare hides.
Very flammable.
Extremely flammable.
Okay, great. So maybe all right. So we're not going to decide that yet, but you're going to be some sort of a spell caster. Great. Okay, so knowing all that, let's get started. We're going to play lasers and feelings. There is a little bit of character creation, but that won't take long. And we're playing henchmen and shenanigans. You choose a style for your character. You will write this down, but again, I think your character sheet's going to be two words and a number. So you're going to be either beautiful, cunning, dangerous, famous, mad, or strange. And then I'll also allow anything else that kind of fits in that. So this is going to be your style.
Easy, got it.
What is it?
Oh, I say what it is?
Yeah. Tell me.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I think my style is definitely strange. Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Roll. I don't know what metal weaver is, but that sounds dope.
You're a metal weaver. Yeah,
I'm a
you're a
metal
metal
weaver.
weaver.
That makes sense. An artificer, metal weaver.
Yeah.
And then choose number 2 to 5. Clever. Okay. That's so
Yeah, high
help
number
me with
means
that.
high intellect. A low number means you're strong.
Oh, yeah, he's smart, high intellect. So it's like a 4.
4. Okay.
All right, I'm probably gonna go with I'm really torn with this.
Again, this is session 0, so even if like where you are now, like we'll map out, your wizard later
Yeah.
on.
I'll probably right now I'll go with like Mad, and I will go with probably Berserker to start. I mean,
Great.
we'll get to Sorceress eventually, but just thinking if they've just been brought back to life and drafted into the Skeleton War.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. Yeah, great. This way you can be a fighter and ramp up.
Yes, exactly. This is my ramp.
This is a journey. I love
Yeah.
it. Danielle.
Oh, so I think I guess I'll go beautiful since I'm going kind of bardy. So I'll do beautiful for my style. And then for my role, ooh, that one's rough. Let me think of traitor. Think that works?
Yeah, I like trader. A trader is going to mean that you have some stuff. And it's not going to be good stuff. It's not going to be great stuff, but you're going to have, pretty rocks. Or
And a lot of that's going to be like negotiating and trying to like use like brain like
Yep. Yep. Okay, so Dan, what are you thinking for your number?
I'm gonna go with I was gonna go 3, smack dab in the middle.
Mid.
Yeah.
Very mid.
Super mid.
Danielle, do you have a number in mind?
Oh, high number meaning grim, fast, strong, brave, vessel, definitely like I think maybe like a 4.
So Jason's also a 4, and we've got a 3.
You know what? I'll go 2, Amy. I'll go 2.
You'll go 2? Okay.
I'm gonna drop down to 3 because I like mechanical. I like whatever that means.
Higher number, smarter, lower number, stronger.
I think he is smarter. I think he is a 4.
I think so too. Great. So we've got 4, 2, and 4. Awesome. And now you're going to come up with a cool character name.
I like my character name, but you tell me if it's too spicy for the world.
Is it Boner?
It's Boner. It's Heart Boner. That's his name.
Okay,
Not to offend the bone people around him. No, it's I want him to be Tippy. There's something.
Oh yeah, Tippy, let's go.
Tippy is his name.
We should be able to clear this with legal, just because I think it's funny if her name is Busy.
Oh, Tippy and Busy. I love that.
Busy. Are you spelling it Busy?
I'm spelling it whichever way the rapper Busy Bone does not spell Busy Bone.
Oh, okay.
So that we can clear it with legal. And I'm gonna miss everybody. Sorry.
Oh my God, amazing.
Well, I was gonna go with Tibbs, but that's too close to Tippy, so I will then go with Fibs, short for Fibia or Fibido. He's not quite sure.
Ooh, like the Fibia. Okay, great. Awesome.
They all sound like it. Fibs, Tippy, and Busy.
Yeah, we're the what is it? The shoot. Oh, what are they called? Black Eyed Peas.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
Black Eyed Peas. You don't have to decide too much about this. We're going to be just playing what this is, but you do have a cool looking henchman outfit. Which brings me to my question: pronouns for your characters.
She, her. Yeah, I think she, her.
He, him.
Okay.
Also he, him.
So you have cool looking henchman outfit. This, you may or may not skeletons. That's up to you. With hidden pouches for chaos inducing elements. I will accept a rib cage. 2 to 3 weapons. Melee ranged, can be stuff you found around the dungeon or plucked from good guy adventurers, and technical or magical gizmos appropriate to your role. Again, this will be, as we play, you'll just be like, I think I have this, and maybe you do, maybe you don't. There's some examples: Everfull monster feed bag, the bottled elemental farts, and dungeon mushrooms. So drugs or drug adjacent things are possible here. Amazing.
I'll take the parts.
Okay, so then there's a player goal. This is what you're all trying to impress your evil overlord employer. This is Unzug perform. Actually, it'll be someone else, but in the name of Unzug, you're going to be performing menial but necessary and very important to you tasks, while also getting away with as many valuables as possible. And it sounds like your character goal can be ascendancy into Unzug's hierarchy, wealth, conspire to disrupt from within, plunder new worlds, become a legend. I would even say ascendancy in Unzug's. You could even do mutiny in Unzug's realm, and then revenge, free your loved ones. I don't want you to do that one. Uncover secrets and lore. I guess if you want to free your loved ones, that's fine. I just
Nah, let them
that
rot in
seems,
prison.
yeah, that
No.
seems really nice.
They know what they
What
did.
loved ones?
Okay, cool. So maybe don't tell me what that is. Maybe just think of what that is for yourself. Those are examples. You can pick whatever you want. Then we're going to play. Okay, so here are the rules. When you do something risky, and at this level, a lot is going to be risky, you're going to roll 1d6 to find out how it goes. You get to add a die if you are prepared, and you can convince me that you're prepared to do this thing. And then you can roll another one, so a maximum of 3d6 if you're an expert. And then the number that you're trying to hit or beat or go under is the number on your character sheet, which is a 4, a 2, or a 4. So if you're being a myth-elect, you want to roll under your number. If you're being a Grimfist, you want to roll over your number. And it is that binary, and we'll decide together what that is. But if none of your dice succeed, you fail. It goes wrong. Things get worse. If one die succeeds, you barely do it, but you technically do the thing that you're trying to do. And something negative happens on top of that. And if 2 dice succeed, you do it well, things are great. And then if 3 dice succeed, you get a critical success, and you get like a bonus or a boon. If you roll your exact number, exactly, the gods grant you wisdom, and you can kind of like ask me something, or your character gets to know something that they wouldn't know otherwise. They wouldn't just determine it. So this is kind of your chance to get a little meta if you want. And then if someone's helping you, they also give them another die, but we are maxing out at 3. So you're either an expert or you're being helped if you have 3 dice. Okay, that's it. All right, ready to play?
Let's do
Okay.
it. For the outfit stuff, the cool looking henchman outfit, are we deciding what that is right now? Are we telling you that, or is it just something-
Yeah, go ahead and tell me what it is. Sure, yeah.
I think they've turned Tippy into like a pack mule, and they've loaded him up with like everything, camping supply, like tools.
Well, who's they? Because this is the first day of the job. So have they?
Yeah, like what his role? I guess if they're like marching and they're an army, he's like carrying the rations, other people.
I love it
that he doesn't use. You know what I mean?
Yeah, great. Okay, so cool.
He's just saddled with bags and so many things.
Okay, awesome.
And he's definitely not strong enough to carry this, but he's faking it.
Okay, and it's pretty top heavy too, so that
for
adds
sure.
to your
Just Death Stranding.
yes, he's Death Stranding. For sure.
Amazing. Okay, cool outfit, bro. Loincloth? Are we doing loincloth kind of thing?
Yeah.
Naked otherwise.
Like fanny pack situation. Goblin fanny pack covering up.
Fanny pack. Is it covering anything or
like barely?
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Skeletons, do you have anything cool going on?
Oh, I mean, I would love to have some skeleton drip, but I think I'm mostly like as naked as the day I was dyed. Like,
okay.
I think I'm mostly like
a hat,
just,
a fun
hat. Like maybe like something because I don't want to do, because if you do something, because sometimes you'll see like the skeletons and they'll have like a T or something that like denotes that they are like a higher up skeleton. So I don't want that.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure that it's definitely still in the world of like, I'm just a little henchman guy. What is something?
I mean, you could think like,
like a chain mail thing, maybe maybe some kind of like a chain mail, like
bodice?
like a chainmail bodice.
Ooh, okay. We love, so great. Yeah, you're armored up, so
because that could get caught on my bones, and that's really funny.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, your clothes are against you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Dan, anything cool?
Depends on your definition of cool. He thinks it's awesome. He is wearing this just like really tattered, like kind of battle tabard that was handed to him like a penny in gym class. He has a rusty iron sword, a very beat up buckler that has a couple arrows sticking on it. And he's just really amused by like, oh, wow, I could probably hang some decorations on here. I hope I find one. But he also he found on the floor this sort of like kind of like journal, and he was just fascinated by how it looked. Just it's empty, completely empty, but he picked it up and just is holding that with him just in case, because he's like, oh, maybe I'll need this. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Oh, okay. So a dusty journal. Awesome. So this is since we've got our characters and you've got two skeletons and a goblin, I'm gonna say what happened just before this. So first of all, we're gonna open on I'm gonna part the veil of reality, and you're no longer sitting at a screen in front of a two-dimensional people. You are actually squashed and smushed in a cart with bars alongside it, and you're just kind of packed in there like sardines with other stinky and drooling and farting minions, goblins and gnolls. Some ghosts somehow made their way in there and are staying there, as ethereal as they are. You've got some kobolds and other imps kind of in there too. No one's really attacking each other. But as far as you guys know, you were ready to die. Like this, you were on a battlefield, and it was skeletons versus goblins, and you were just fighting, doing what you do best. And it's kind of cool that you're still alive. Dan, I guess Fibs did die. Busy, you did die as well. Tippy, you did not die, but you thought you might have, and you kind of, after the aftermath, you did just kind of hang out. You are burdened with a lot of bags. This was your role in the goblin versus skeleton battle that happened a few days ago. And what had really happened was Unzug's minions came and cleaned up the battlefield and just like kind of harvested the trash from the battlefield, and which that's what you are, and carted you away along with these other people, these other minions that they found, and you're being carted into Unzug's lair. And that's where we open on. You're all just packed into a cart. It's uncomfortable, but it's not unfamiliar. You've been this before. You've been in this situation before. Is there anything that you want to do? Technically the two skeletons and the goblins are, like, on paper your enemies, but technically everyone in the cart might be an enemy. So
Tippy's gonna play dead. Tippy's gonna just look around, realize that he's with the enemies that he was probably hiding from in the field, and is horrified, and is just gonna be like,
great,
just pass out and
Great.
pretend to be
I think that's risky, so I'm going to make you roll to see how good you
all
are.
right. Okay. That's good. Sounds good. So walk me through this rolling system again. So I'm
Okay,
rolling.
you roll a d6.
Yes.
If you're prepared, you can roll 2. If you're an expert, you can roll 3.
Expert in playing dead.
I want to make a case that Tippy is an expert at playing dead. This is what he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He embraces his weaknesses. Great. So fine. I'll allow that. So roll 3 dice.
Okay. I'm rolling 3d6, and I got a 5, a 4, and a 3, so that's 12.
Yeah, so we're not adding them together. What you want, because I'm going to say that this is I'm going to say you're using your body here. So this is Grimfist, because your body could betray you when you're playing dead, in many different ways. So this is Grimfist. So you want to roll over your number. Your number is a 4. So a 5 and a 6 would be a success. What'd you get?
I got a 5, a 4, and a 3, so a 5 maybe.
Okay, 5 is a success. You just barely do it, and then the so what actually happens is, as you're playing dead, you're just passed out. You're kind of relaxing on your bags. But you do let out a big goblin fart. It's just unclear who it came from.
That's a fear fart.
I think that guy just voided his bowels.
And the other thing that happens is you did get a 4, so you can ask me a question and I can answer you honestly.
So, okay, I can ask you a question. And is it from this list of questions, or is it any question?
It's kind of any question. This is a chance for you as a player to, like, get a little bit meta, or like have your character be a little more plugged in.
Okay, so I'm looking around. Can I see, like, if there's somebody in charge, like who's driving the
Yes.
where whatever we're on, and like who's the boss here.
Okay, great. Yes. So you've got this, it looks like a stone elemental, a stone giant kind of guy. He's a big bulking guy, but as far as stone giants, you've seen them before, and this one's arguably kind of small. He's like about only like 5 feet tall, so kind of a kid, maybe a teenager. And he doesn't look like he's the boss, but he is the one carting you. Like it's just him, and then like about 30 minions like yourself in this cart. So he's a hefty boy moving you along. As you look around, what you see is a kind of a desolate wasteland, black stone, remnants of lava, smoke coming up, cracks in the earth. That's the landscape. Big tall mountains in the distance, all black. And where it looks like you're going is down a valley. So the walls are kind of growing up beside you, and you're going into a darker and darker and darker place. It does seem like you're heading underground.
Okay, great.
Okay. Dan and Danielle.
Busy is checking her bones just to make sure they're all like she's got all of them. So she's kind of doing bone inventory.
Okay, great. And yeah, you're not alone. I mean, you've got a couple of other skeletons around with you. They're also they're also doing inventory on their bones as well. One of them says, "Hey, do you want some help? You could check my bones and I could check your bones."
Yeah, no, we should totally I will start checking your bones. Hey, it's you had some really good hustle out there. Just really good hustle. Like I was kind of
I died immediately.
Well, yeah, but you got back up really fast, so that's great.
Look, I just don't want to talk about it. We might have a performance review wherever we're going, and could you just not bring up that? I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna say some cool stuff happened.
Oh, what are you gonna say happened?
Well, okay, so I was thinking that I was in the front lines, right? But because I'm a skeleton, like the arrows went all the way through me.
Yeah.
And they didn't actually get to me. And then look, this isn't believable. Maybe you can back me up that I tackled the big goblin boss.
Yeah. Hey, maybe do you have an arrow? We can just put an arrow on your head or something, so we could pretend oh, there's the arrow.
I don't have an arrow, but that guy has an arrow in his bandolier or whatever he does.
Buckler.
Yeah, the buckler. Well, whatever. I know the names of garments. Okay.
This isn't going to look good on your performance review.
Well, but it could, because I'm gonna lie. I already told you I'm gonna lie. This could look great. So can I have your arrow?
You want in my buckler?
No, I want to have your arrow.
For what purpose?
To put it on my head.
I was not eavesdropping on your conversation.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna lie, and I'm gonna use your arrow and stick it through my ribs to show that nothing can get me.
That sounds
This is very clever.
like a foolproof plan, and I cannot think of a more deserving candidate to have this arrow. You may take it if you can pluck it from my buckler, not my bandolier.
All right. Well, yep, I can pluck it. So great. I've got a yeah. So anyway, thanks guys. I'm Frax. I don't know if we ever got to actually meet each other before we ran into the fray.
Hi, Frax. I'm busy. I work in the skeleton unit.
Holy, oh my God, holy Sundari. That smells like the deepest butthole of the largest elemental giant I've ever seen in my life.
What is
Be
that?
honest. Was it you?
I don't think fart. I think air just goes through me all the time. I think air is just constantly going.
No, that's a myth. Skeletons can fart. That's a myth.
Yeah.
I've raised
that it would just legally be considered that because the gaseous matter is passing through you and out your sphincter, or what remains of it.
Wait, what?
Sorry, it's like Busy was saying, the gas passes through the bones,
Constantly.
so it looks like it's us, but it was not us.
Oh, wait,
Tippy-
so
I think someone's
his
setting us
breath,
up.
trying not to fart again.
oh yeah, Tippy, you're trying not to fart again? Would you
Tippy is really trying not to fart
I
again.
think
Tippy's
you're gonna need to roll for that.
An expert.
And you're not an expert in not farting.
Damn it. All right, 1d6, and I got a 1.
So you got to
So
wait, you might actually do it because
no.
no, you do.
Okay.
You want to roll over your number. This is grim fist and you're grim fisting your sphincter.
I'm grim fisting
It's
right
just not
now
working.
in a
So
big way.
yeah, so it did not, it goes wrong. Okay. So actually all this talk of farting makes your body just like react.
Mhm.
And it is trumpeting for a while. And since all these skeletons are like obsessed with it now, they're digging through and finding it. And they find you. They find you as the source of this horrible smell.
Bibbs walks over and
There's no
pokes.
walking. So you
Oh,
are
okay.
like you're starting, but
Oh,
you
we're
can
wedged
dig,
in.
like
Okay,
you're
never
digging
mind.
through, yeah, you're digging through a pile of bodies. And so you do find him though.
Tippy opens one eye, sees this skeleton crawling towards him, is now sweating profusely, knowing that the jig's up probably soon, and just doubles down on still trying to pretend to be dead. Like rolls over, like even like pretends to like die again, like
Oh
oh.
my God. Oh my God.
Oh, this is tragic.
Busy starts like going through. Oh, I think that's that thing where you die and you fart as you're dying. That's a death fart.
Uh,
Oh,
that's the
I,
soul escaping the body, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
oh, okay. So the goblin's dead.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Tippy or Busy like just pokes Tippy.
Phibbs opens one of the eyes.
You see anything in there?
Can Tippy roll to try to not
Yeah.
react? Tippy
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
Tippy's not I don't know if Tippy's an expert at this. I don't think Tippy's ever been poked.
No, I don't think so. And you're not prepared either. So
No,
1d6.
I rolled a 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're able to play dead with the best of them, and you're being poked and prodded, and you still look dead. So, as far as everyone's concerned, you're dead.
I've never, as a as an animated skeleton, I've never seen someone who is more dead than this person right here.
I also believe him.
Yeah, kind of an expert, in death. Oh, it's normally I'm used to seeing them die on the battlefield, not just like right here on the way home. Should we say something like nice about, like, hey, here lies this goblin. I hope.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? If Unzug and his minions saw us burying the dead, do you know how fast we'd be kicked out and we wouldn't have jobs anymore? Are you kidding?
Okay, so
Bury it. Who's talking? It was just saying
No.
something nice.
Oh yeah, well,
nice.
same thing. Like being nice. Oh, we would never work again in this entire world.
Oh, you're right. Okay, then we'll just say mean things. I bet you stunk just as much in life as you did in death.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're rolling in, and everyone gets into this cavern, this like deep, dark, dripping cavern, and the air gets musty. It's harder to breathe, and it's very sulfuric. It's worse than the fart, so don't even worry about it anymore, Tippy. But what you see is like this vast room, and it's definitely a torture chamber. So there's and it's deep under the mountain. There's like a pool. There's a pool of lava over in the corner. Goblins seem to be forging stuff there. There's humanoids racked up along the wall with in shackles. There's blood and weird bodily fluids kind of everywhere, and you're carted in and dumped. So the elemental who's been carrying you just lifts up the cart, and you're all dumped out into a pile, about 30 of you. And right in front of this like teeny tiny mimic chest, like a little chest. And the elemental just kind of like shakes the cart. He's a big guy, and you all just tumble out, and then he leaves and goes back out. And as he leaves, the rock closure kind of closes, and you're locked in there. As the mimic, kind of hops and scans and says, telepathically communicates to each of you. You don't know if it's to the whole group, but this kind of young kid's voice, like, okay, you and you. And not really mentioning, it doesn't feel like he's talking to any of you guys. there's three kobolds that dig themselves out of the pile and they go off. The telepathy stops in your brain and you see the kobolds go and they nod and they run off. And as they leave, there's this opening into what seems like a big tunnel system, and they jump up and tap this. It's carved in blue and it says terror, and they tap it and they run away. As you hear them running away, and nothing's really happening, maybe you're getting yourselves together, you hear a big booming voice that says, "For Anno I smite," and you hear what has to be the kobolds screaming, and then within 30 seconds you hear a voice say, "Well, oh, good job everybody." And it does seem to be coming from the depths of the cavern, of the tunnel system, but you're putting together that there are some adventurers in this tunnel system. You can tell the mimic's waiting to hear people die, and he's just sitting there. And as soon as they do die, he kind of looks back to the group.
Oh, that didn't seem to go very well for them. Busy is saying that didn't seem to go very well. Busy likes, that's really hard because Busy wants to get the adventurers, but also wants to live. But that's the job. So Busy's like, I want to, the way to impress Unzug is for me to volunteer. So Busy's going to volunteer.
Excuse me, child box voice.
Yes,
I don't know if I'm supposed to speak out loud or if this is in my head. Do we need to go in there? Should we be fighting?
You answer to me, and yes, eventually all of you will go forth and be fodder for these adventurers. We are here at Unzug's Lair, are very committed to providing a experience for the good people, the good aligned who come in here, and we're committed to giving them a quite evil experience. They're just at the beginning of our lair here. So thank you all for joining us. Yes, you are important to the entire plan. And as he's talking, you can see that there's this parchment that is has a list written on it, flapping from the chest opening. So actually he is communicating. So that was telepathically, but when you spoke to him, he actually started flapping his chest, and he's speaking out loud now, and coming kind of just hanging out is this list that he's got. I'll be assigning you group by group to go and do your worst to whoever's in our dungeon.
I have a clarifying question. You said do your worst, but you're also trying to provide an experience to the good aligned people here. Do you mean that we should not actually do our best and not try to stop them? In fact, do our worst possible job and just let them trounce us, like sort of
I'm laughing because you think that you doing your best has any chance of surviving. No, you were dug up as trash from a battlefield to die again.
You're a box with a tongue. I think that we both have unique properties that make us valuable individuals.
Okay, we're just gonna have to fundamentally disagree.
Oh man, I'm not off to a good start.
Tippy hears the box say that, and Tippy, now wide-eyed, terrified, is there could you describe the room to us? Like, are we on a pile of other trash enemies, goblins and bones, or what is the room that we're in?
Room? Okay, so the room is vast. So I would say it's like a circumference, a diameter of maybe 100 feet, and you kind of it's like a circular, maybe ovular, and you have come in from one side of it, been dumped on, not right in the middle, but towards the middle, and then around you are humanoids shackled on the walls, torture chambers, torture racks. You've got like a little tiny, a little bitty forge over towards one side, and then kind of straight through where you got dumped is the entrance to the rest of the tunnel system.
Tippy wants to, because he's now so scared out of his mind. In the room with two skeletons, there's a talking box, and it's saying that he's destined to die for this cause. And Tippy wants to run to the back, stealthily move to the back and pretend that he's hanging from the torture chains or whatever, but like not actually, he's just like leaning
Okay.
up against what's already there and
Okay.
pretend that he's just, the background.
Okay, yeah, so awesome. So as you go and do that, you see that like these people aren't just hanging there, they're also being poked and prodded uh
Oh.
by other goblins. Like there are people with them.
Also, it's goblins doing it. It's goblins doing the
It's
poking.
yeah. And the other ones, I mean, they're humanoids, they're more like adventurers, like they're halflings and elves and humans and
Oh,
half-orcs.
got it. Tippy is then. So I changed what I want to do. So knowing that it's other goblins
Yeah,
poking
sorry.
the people, Tippy's gonna go in and also poke the people like he's supposed to be there.
Oh, okay, great. So this
Yeah.
is, I would say this is using your mind.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's roll for mythellect.
Mytholect. Okay. And Tippy, I don't think is prepared because
Yeah,
it's
you're about
crazy.
fitting in. Yeah.
Tippy rolls a 4.
A 4. Okay, so you get some wisdom, but you do not succeed.
Okay.
So what do you do? Tell me what you do.
So in Tippy's mind, Tippy is stealthily like hugging the wall like a spy. And then
Okay,
like
but you also
in
have like a massive amount of baggage.
yes, yes. I mean, this is just in his mind.
Okay.
He's spy mode Mission Impossible. And he's now in his mind, stealthily and smoothly moving to one of the bodies,
Okay.
the people being tortured, and he's poking it with like something that wouldn't even hurt. Like I think he has a boomerang, so
Okay.
he's just tapping the guy with his boomerang,
Okay, yeah, and
looking around frantically.
yeah, and this isn't a quiet dungeon. Like you can hear the people screaming, but also there's like screaming and torture
Yeah,
being done in here too.
yeah.
The part of the reason that the chest is communicating telepathically is because it is so loud. But yeah, so you're near the first thing that you come upon is a dwarf being shackled and poked at by 2 goblins, and you just kind of sidle up and I mean you're bad at it. Like you're half-assed. You're phoning it in, your boomerang's just kind of getting him right where it doesn't even hurt him, it's like on some squishy parts, but that's about it. And you're like, I mean, do you say anything?
Yeah, to be is the dwarf looking at him?
Yeah, the dwarf's like crying and being like, I have a family. Someone help me. Radar, are you here?
Stop. Just look. You just pretend. I'm not really gonna hurt you. Just pretend. If you pretend and I pretend, we're all gonna get out of this just fine. So just and then like I'm poking him. Or just go with it, dude. Come on.
Okay, the two there were 2 goblins nearby poking a in my mind they're just poking. They're not they're
What are
not
you
making,
poking him with?
they're poking him with these like blunt spears. They're not making anyone bleed, but it's just like sharp
Yeah.
punches. I guess some of the rods do have some electrical energy in them, but these don't. They're just being poked. So these 2 goblins are kind of making their way down, and they see you I don't know, have a conversation, and they're like, hi, why do you get out of here?
Hey, man. I'm just doing my job like you.
No, you're not. There's a protocol.
It's my first day.
No, it's not. You're not even part of the crew. You don't even have the evil armband yet.
We'll take it.
Oh my gosh, Mimsy.
Shut up.
And the chest who's been talking to the skeletons is like, okay, guys, hold on 1 second. I gotta go. Hold on. Actually, you and you get after it. And doesn't actually pick you yet, skeletons. They pick this group of 2 wormlings, 2 gnolls, and a different skeleton. Oh, Frax, your friend Frax. They're gone. So they tap the blue painted terror on the top, and they're out of there. You do.
Sorry.
You do see that your farting goblin friend from the cart is alive and causing some fuckery. as
Oh my God, it's a miracle.
as the mimic makes his way over there. So you can do whatever you want. But the mimic makes his way over there. This is Mimsy, who the other goblin was calling after, and Mimsy comes and goes, "You're supposed to be in the pile. You're supposed to be in the pile."
Well, who? Like the dwarf? Yeah, you're supposed to be in the pile.
No, give me that. And he like grabs your boomerang and tosses it somewhere else. It tosses it away.
Does it come back?
It comes back. It comes back. But it hits you. It hits you bonk in the head, and you get a big bruise.
I fart as I get bumped. Just for flavor.
Okay. So he says, You're out of order already? Are you okay, that's it. Shackle him up.
Tippy's still desperately trying to somehow lie his way out of a situation, is also yelling, "Shackle him up!" But like,
Okay. Are you is that meant to do something?
I don't. You tell me.
No, okay. No, because I was like, I mean, I can make you roll for it, but I don't think that. I think that they okay, so shackle. Yeah, so they're yelling, shackle him up, and they grab you, and you're yelling, shackle him up, and you're just like kind of accepting your lot. They clamp one shackle on your wrist. Dan and Danielle, are you doing anything?
Yeah, and I think a voice just clicked, so I might try a voice here. We'll see what happens. So Busy sees all this happening, and in Busy's not the smartest, and Busy just goes, "You have to stop. He wanted so badly to help that he came back alive from the dead. He came back alive from the dead just to torture. You can't shackle him up. He can't. He was dead and fought, right? He was dead and fought, and we all saw it."
It's a necromantic miracle.
Oh, okay. Great. Roll a mythellect, and it seems like Fibs is helping you too. So yeah, this is a full-on deception.
And I rolled a 1, which for
+1 dice for me helping.
Yes, you get another die.
And that's a 3 on the second die.
Okay, so mythellect, you want to roll under your number.
Under, yeah. So
you got 2?
1. Yeah. Oh, I rolled a 1 and then a 3.
That's perfect. Yeah, both of the dice are under, and so that means you succeed twice. You have 2 dice that succeed, and so Mimsy goes, "What? You came back to life to fight with Unzug and terrorize the world under Unzug's name?"
That's right. Yeah.
Well, wow, that's amazing. What's your favorite quality of Unzug?
Tippy looks around, looks at the wall, looks at the blue sign, and goes, "Terror."
Wow, that's our motto. That's our way of being. That's our authentic code here. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. You, my friend, are about to attack some adventurers and really let loose. We're going to take your entire belongings, though. Get him out of that. So they shake you out of your backpacks.
Got it.
Oh, okay. But by attack, in the army I was from, all I did was like repair shields and like hand people spears, and collect daggers and stuff.
And that's not very terrorizing, is it?
I do it scary though. I do it scary.
Okay, well, yeah. I hesitate to believe you.
By like attack, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna hand whoever is got good aim a spear and do my part in the terror.
Yes, you are. Because I said so, and I'm the boss down here. So you, and you, and now it's you. It's it's Tippy, Fibs, and Busy who he's chosen, and says, "Go attack those adventurers."
Okay. Wait, where? All right, we got this. Attacking is the name, and adventurers are the game.
That's right. Yeah, this group of people has talked more than any of the other ones. They all just seem to know. It's like have you never been in a dungeon before? Have you never had this job before?
I honestly could not tell you. I do not remember. I just awoke one day and I was a skeleton. And so it just seemed right that I should be attacking people. but I don't recall having been here before. If I have been, it's good to see you. Mimsy, I believe you said your name was?
Yes, Mimsy.
All right. Well, Mimsy, the pleasure is and remains mine. Pleasure.
Yeah, he sticks out his tongue to shake your hand.
I shake his tongue.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that.
Bibbs takes off his arm and extends it.
Oh,
Grab the tongue, and he walks out and reaches it to hit the terror above the door as he
Awesome.
rolls out to go fight the adventurers.
Wait.
Yes.
I try to stop Fibs and like,
Listen, I don't know why you skellies are being nice to a goblin like me. Because out there, you guys are doing all sorts of crazy stuff, ripping our guts out, sinking arrows into us like pincushions.
I had one of your arrows in my buckler, but I gave it away to a random person I just met.
I'm just saying, let's go out there, let's attack the adventurers. Let's get out of here.
Yes, let's do.
We agree. Let's go out there and let's attack the adventurers.
Let's
No,
do
no,
our
guys,
worst or our best. I'm still unclear.
Guys, okay. You know what? You guys attack the adventurers. I'll help you from the back.
That sounds perfect. I'm more of a frontline guy anyway.
You keep doing this little thing with your hands.
What things?
You keep doing this little thing. What's the thing with your fingers?
It's like what? Okay, you know what? You guys attack. I'll help. If you need a spear, I'll hand you. Well, they took my spears. I'll just support from the back.
See that thing? You keep
Okay.
the back. We're gonna go and attack,
Yeah,
and you'll be in the back.
don't worry. It's a goblin
Probably
thing.
a goblin
Don't worry
thing.
about it.
It's a different culture.
We wouldn't understand.
as you were doing that, you did hear, ah ha ha, now you see me, now you don't. And then the skeletons who ran past before and the other, you hear them all scream. You hear a crunch of bones as everything as they all fall down. It is in the depths, but you can kind of hear where it's coming from. But the other crew you're pretty sure has perished as well.
Oh.
Well, that doesn't bode well. Anyway,
And we're running and we're going and we're attacking, or else I will get Unzuk to smite you down and we'll just throw you into the fire.
that sounds unpleasant.
Don't tell Unsuk.
I will run.
Yeah. Busy just goes headlong. Busy takes off one of her bones and is like, rah, like charging with it like a weapon.
Okay, perfect.
yeah. Tippy is trying to catch up, being like, "Don't leave me behind," and like running as fast as you can.
Okay, awesome. Let's see if you can find these people. So everyone roll a mytholect. And you're trying to roll low.
Oh, low.
I rolled 4,
Rolled a 5.
I rolled a 3.
but that is my number.
Okay, Dan's the only one who succeeded, but Danielle, you are a 4, so you get to ask a question.
Oh, just ask a question. And we are looking for the heroes now.
Yeah, you're looking for the adventurers, yeah.
The adventurers. Okay, so yeah, that would be which way, what's the best way to get to the adventurers, I think.
Okay, so that was the role that you were trying to see if you could
I know.
find out. So
That's why I'm trying to be sneaky. It's not
yeah. But is there I mean, you don't have to ask it now, maybe you can ask it later, but is there something about the world or what's going on with your characters that you want to know?
Oh, yeah.
One of them is like, what should I be on the lookout for? How can I get them to do something?
Who is making up the class of heroes? Like what kind of what's the team made up of?
Okay, you have heard voices. You've heard 4 different voices. Obviously one was a paladin, one was a rogue, a druid, and a wizard. And there's four of them. You've got a gnome, an elf, a human, and a halfling.
Okay.
You just knew that.
Okay, great. Gnome, elf, human, halfling. Okay, perfect.
That is an amazing level of auditory intuition.
I'm really good at hearing good.
But Dan, you're the only one who even kind of knows where to go. I guess the caveat is that along the way, you're just spent because you've been kind of corralling like you're going, like everyone's going to the, like maybe they're going to the right and you're like, no, come back to this way. Oh no, they're going to the left. And so, but you're running because you're scared of what would happen if Mimsy caught up with you. And you're just really, really exhausted, which means that I guess for this next part, nothing about this is going to be, you're not going to be able to be prepared.
All right. They're definitely this way. Just a couple more 100 yards and maybe a couple lefts and rights, but I'm positive it's this direction. Just keep going.
You do hear them talk to each other, and you hear them say, well, are we closer to Unzug and destroying that madman? Oh, I don't know. I mean, we did get a lot. I don't know about you, but we've just defeated many foes, and I'd like a rest. Ah, yes, I think that would do us nicely. I could actually meditate for a while. Well, then it would be my pleasure to take the first watch. And you hear them kind of abandoned where they are. Now you are getting close. So what do you do?
Ooh, so Busy wants to start tiptoeing, and see if we can get him with the element of surprise when they're knackered out.
Okay.
So yeah, Busy just starts like sneak.
Yeah,
sneak,
make a grim fist roll.
Okay. Grim fist. 5.
A 5, and I think you do want to roll high for this, so you do succeed. You are successfully able to sneak your bones closer.
Sneak. Hey, maybe if we get them while they're surprised, then they won't even know that was coming.
And yeah, so you're getting closer, and what you see is they're kind of sloughing off. Like this is just a party, kind of opening doors, listening, and trying to find a corner. So it's pretty quiet out here.
I've got an idea. I'm going to throw my arm down the hallway to distract them.
No, don't do that.
I'm going to do it.
Don't do it.
Why?
He's gonna do it though?
Why not?
They'll hear it. What are you talking about?
Yes. And who would look at this direction? It's called a gambit. I read about it once in this old journal I found.
You know what? Yeah, you should do that. You know what?
Right.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I'm going to do it.
do it.
So I sheathe my sword and buckler to rip off one of my arms and get ready to hurl it down the hallway, ideally to create a distraction.
Okay. I think you're just able to do that. I don't see why. I mean, it's risky, but not in the way that you wouldn't be able to do it. So you are able to do it. It does cause a distraction. These adventurers go, what was that? Danielle, you're close enough to see that they have stopped moving, and they're kind of looking around, and they're checking their 6 now. You succeeded, so I think they're not able to see you, but yeah, they see the skeleton arm, and they at first back up, but the rogue goes, huh, this is interesting, and picks it up and kind of examines it. Where did this come from?
Can I control my limb?
Yes.
I'm going to try to poke out his eyes.
Awesome. Okay, so you poke out her, she's holding this halfling is holding your arm, and the arm just kind of goes ba-ding, ba-ding, and okay, Grimfist. Let's see if that works.
That is a 6.
That works. That very, very
now.
much works. You barely manage it. And that's a great attack. You've taken her unawares, and she's like, ah, and she throws it. She like throws it against the wall, and one of the bones in the forearm breaks off.
Ow.
But she's like, run, they're coming after us, but it's not like any attack we've ever seen.
Much stupider.
and so the halfling's off. The paladin kind of stays where he is, in like a skeletal arm. I feel like I have seen this before. The rogue and the druid are off running, and so is the wizard, actually, the gnome. But the human paladin is kind of examining. I actually, you know what do you do, Tippy?
First off, does Fibs? Do you still have an arrow in your buckler or no?
No,
Yeah, Didn't you have 2?
I had 2, so there's 1 left. I gave one to Vargas. What was his name? Frax.
Fibs. Give me the arrow. I need the arrow.
All right. It is yours. if you can pluck it from mine buckler, a test of might.
Yeah, Tippy tries to pull the arrow out of the
It comes out very easily.
Tippy pulls the arrow out of the buckler. Tippy breaks off the tip of the spear, throws it aside, takes the arrow shaft, and just puts it in his chest, and it falls backwards.
Oh my
God.
Wait, you feigned death again?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Okay, you're an expert. Let's do it.
It's so
Okay.
sad to see he had so much to live for.
All right, I rolled a 2 and a 3.
A 2 and a 3, and Grimfist, you do want to roll over your number.
Mm-hmm.
All of your friends see this happening, and you're bad at acting. You literally are like, oh no, and pass out, and yeah, you all know that he's not dead. Anyone who ran across you would know that you're not actually dead either.
I assume there's a second part to your plan.
You're literally holding the arrow shaft like here on your chest as you're on your back.
I don't go fight him.
Since everybody's being tricky today, and everybody's trying to deceive, Busy's like, I can deceive people too. So Busy's like, look, hello, thank you for coming to our dungeon. We wanted to surprise you with this gift of a dead goblin.
Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, so the paladin is right there. And you're talking to the paladin.
Yeah. And just being like, since Tippy is very obviously like not dead, just be like, look, we shot this goblin for you. It is our gift.
So what are you trying to do? You're trying to like just
deception, right?
Deception. You
Deception.
We get his feet out from under him. All right. So roll a mythellect.
So do it. 2.
A 2. And you want to roll under your number. You did. Yeah, great. So he's like, you brought a gift for us.
Yeah, we brought you this dead goblin.
Instead of fighting against us. Do you work for Unzug?
We have seen the error of our ways. Busy's like trying to like signal that like this would be the moment to like attack while I'm like distracting them.
Okay, great. And so the paladin, believes you and is like, oh, I see. And you have decided to become good as a skeleton. Would you like to we can take you to, we can give you redemption. I can give you redemption for Anno.
Yeah, I want to be redeemed and whatever.
Yes. And I would like to give you this gift of a rusty iron sword. Stab.
Okay, so you try to stab this paladin. Yeah, with one arm. So roll 1 die, and this is a Grimfist. You want to roll high?
That's a 1.
Okay. So yeah, you just kind of lean it out, and you're gonna try to stab him, but it doesn't work. He's got a bunch of armor on, and he
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Sorry, you don't have to. I'll just take, if you want to give me the sword, I'll just take it. Thank you so much. Thank you for that, and thank you for the goblin gift. And I don't believe in indentured servitude. That goblin is obviously alive. So if you're giving me a gift of the goblin, I will refuse, but I will. I'm really down.
You can pay him. It doesn't have to be indentured servitude.
Okay.
I know you guys don't really pay taxes, but
where is my party just they scurried off at the sight of an unattached arm, which I'm assuming is yours, sir.
Yeah, that's
and you know what? I don't want the goblin gift unless he also wants redemption. But if you want redemption, we can pray to my deity, Anno, and you shall have it.
I want redemption.
What?
I'm alive.
Yes, I knew.
Did your deity do this? Is that a miracle?
I think
it's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
No, my deity did not do this. You were never dead, and I could see that.
It kind of makes you not really believe in your deity, huh?
Maybe you're having a crisis of faith.
Okay, interesting. I'm sorry. Do you want to follow with me, and we can go get you redeemed and perform the ritual of conversion to worship Anno instead of Unzug?
What if we say no?
Well, that's always an option.
I mean, we can. I don't want to speak for everybody. I'm just curious. I like to know my options.
Right. I I'm going to I'm actually becoming attached to you right now. I find you incredibly adorable, if I'm honest. You especially, you skeleton. It's just like, wow, who knew skeletons could be cute? I will say, when my party we're about to take a rest, and we've got some interpersonal things to hash out.
Oh, that's the best time for that kind of scene work to unfold.
Right. Well, we haven't really been able to talk yet, and the halfling and I have a past. So,
Oh,
You have a past?
mhm.
I don't.
I don't think we have that. Yeah.
Well, then you understand. This is just a lot right now. I think I have a bigger priority to my party member. We're going to talk about how.
And where is your party? What?
Yeah,
Is
I'm
it-
gonna go find. I think they ducked into the nearest room.
So you're
I'll-
alone.
Yep.
Right.
I apologize. I may have done some permanent ocular damage to your party member.
Oh, yes, that was her. That's the one that I'm gonna need to
And
have
did
a
you
conversation
tell
with.
them where you were going before you?
No, that I didn't go anywhere. I stayed here. I was looking at the skeleton arm that was poking my friend's eye out. My friend. Oh, that's
Oh,
what we're
yeah.
talking about,
Cool.
to be honest.
Oh.
Oh my
Nefario.
God, I want to hear all about it.
Yes, I know, but you all are just very confusing to me, and I think I'm going to bid adieu, and maybe perhaps I'll see you later on in the dungeon, but I don't feel equipped mentally or physically to attack you right now, and it seems as though this one particularly doesn't want to fight me. You want to bring me gifts. It also doesn't seem like you want redemption. So I know one thing that I do want, and it is for my halfling friend to marry me, and I'm going to prioritize that.
I just I have a quick question. Have you've been slaying things out in this dungeon? Have you been slaying skeletons or goblins or
Yes,
like a lot?
yes.
I look to Fibs and I look to Busy and I try to give him like
Can I have my sword back?
You probably won't need a sword while you're dealing with all your relationship problems.
I don't think that I know you can't cut through the tension with this. It's pretty rusty.
No, I'm not going to give you your sword back. It was a gift.
And did you know which way was like out?
Oh yeah, yes. We're very near the entrance, as it turns out.
While this is happening, I want to see if I can have my arm crawl back and just kind of like, I don't know if he's wearing like greaves or boots, but if there's boots, I'd like to untie the laces and like
Okay.
tie
Okay,
I don't know if I
awesome.
can do that, but
Yes, I think you
Perfect.
can. We'll do this as a grim fist. Yeah, go ahead.
And there's something I want to do immediately as I know if I notice the shoelaces being untied.
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. Yeah, you're not able to do that. So the arm is kind of like crawling over to his boots, and it starts like messing with the shoelaces. He just is like, and like kind of steps on it, and
Ow.
yeah, you lose some of the bones in your hand.
My bones.
About 5 of them. You're gonna need to collect those, plus the other broken bone. So yeah, you definitely got a maimed arm at this point. He says, okay. What do you want? Do you want? I can't figure this out. Do you want me to get my party back here? We're very low on hit points, very low on spell slots. I'm just trying to rest, and you all seem to want to join our party or not.
Oh, you're very low on hit points and you're very low, so you need to. Well, what I think the best thing that we could do is if you give us back the sword, then we can watch your backs while you sleep.
No, the sword. Look, I know enough about skeletons and goblins, and I'm not going to give you back a sword. Now, but what I am going to do is walk away from this entire situation.
Well, what do you know? And as I get
Since you know so
paladin-
much about us.
as I try to get this paladin to explain themselves, I want to sneakily with my little goblin toes get my piggies over to his shoelaces and try to untie the shoes after the failed attempt.
Everyone knows they have prehensile toes.
Okay.
I'm gonna start calling them my goblin toes.
Okay. Grimfist, roll high.
He rolled a 1.
Yeah. Okay. So that doesn't happen either. Look, what does happen? So you're kind of like sneaking. Everyone's messing with his feet. He's like, "You guys are gross. You guys are so gross. I can't do this anymore. Nefarial, get back here. I can't.
Hold on. Panicking now. Panic because he's so scared. Panicking now. He goes, two words.
What?
Terror. And I try to kick the paladin right in the crotch.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Grimfist.
5.
So he's calling out for his party, and as and he gets hit right in the crotch with your goblin toes. He does have low hit points. So what are the other two? He crumples over and he says, "No, today for Ano," and he raises his arm like he's going to call forth a power. What do you do?
Tippy wants to rear back for another nut kick. But
okay.
I'll leave the rest to my party members.
I grab his arm and try to yank to see if it comes off like mine do.
Okay, awesome. Danielle?
Take one of my arm bones and try to see if I can like use my arm around like his neck to like choke him out. So
okay.
Or maybe not my arm bone, because I want that. So I'll take off take off one of my ribs, like one of my rib bones, and then like use that for like tension to see if I can like so that he can stop like to stop the talking.
Yeah, everyone roll a Grimfist. We want to roll over.
6.
Nice.
5.
Yes.
6.
Yes. Okay. So he's Ano, smite these evil beings, and just then the skeleton with one arm grabs his arm, rips it off. His crotch is burning. Busy is able to choke him, to choke his throat. He's gasping for air, and meanwhile, Jason,
Tippy's viciously and maliciously just kicking the nuts.
Kicking the nuts forever. Okay. And without like too much pomp and circumstance, you're able to kill him. Like he's dead. He's down.
He's dead?
He's dead.
Am I just really strong, or do all arms just come off like that?
Yeah.
I don't think all arms just come off like that.
He must have had a pre-existing condition, not covered by insurance.
As far as you can't hear the other party members. Yeah, what do you want to do?
What's he got on him? To take his stuff.
Oh yeah, we got to start looting.
So okay, you start looting. You find his sword. You find his relic that he wears around his neck. He finds some gold, and just as you are looting him, Mimsy starts hopping up behind you and goes, "Here you are. What took so long? We've been waiting to hear the screams of your unobliterated death for a really long time. You killed an adventurer."
Yeah,
that was the goal, right?
You said do your worst or our best.
That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay.
That motivational sign really did something.
I said terror before we took him out. I said it. I said it out loud. Right, guys, I said it.
True, he did say it. And I did feel good when I slapped the thing in there.
Okay, come back with me or I'll kill you. And we will get you all set up for minionhood.
That sounds great. And I pick up the paladin's arm and put it inside of Mimsy because it seems like the right thing to do.
Okay, yeah, and it's kind of bleeding all over his list, and it's the arm itself is bigger than Mimsy. Mimsy's little.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have great spatial relations.
Right. So, well, he's happy to accept it, and he says, and anything else you looted from him, we'll take that back with us too, because it goes into the armory and the treasury, and it's for the collective, the good of all, for Unzug's minions.
Wow, a socialist paradise. You guys love a pile here.
He takes you back and you follow him, and he says, and here in this room, you can have any spot on the floor that you like. He takes his mouth and he uses a tooth that he's got, and he uses it like chalk on the ground to carve an X. Like you could you could have a space here. This could be your space. And he hops over closer to the terror torture racks, and he uses his tooth like chalk again and marks an X, like, and you can have a spot here, and you can have a spot here, and you look around and you see that there are lots of little X's are on the ground, and some of them have little trinkets and rocks and leather, some things in vials, and it looks like you've been assigned your bunks, which is just a spot on the floor.
Wow. A spot of my own, just like I always imagined.
It's so opulent. I never dreamed of having such consideration. Thank you so much.
Yeah, congratulations. So we'll just be getting started here in a bit. I'm gonna send some other people after these adventurers. We don't want to kill all of them right away. It seems like you can handle yourself. So Busy, you're going to be assigned to move that pile of rocks from there all the way to there. They're just like 3 feet apart. So you're just going to be moving rocks. Okay. You Fibs, you're going to be, you're actually, we're going to give you this pickaxe. There's no gems. There's no metallic veins of any sort. There's nothing to mine for, but you are going to mine this wall. Just come over here and you're going to take off little chunks of this wall. Okay.
Okay.
And you join join like 2 other kobolds who are also doing the same thing pretty happily. And you, Tippy, we're going to take you into this room. It seems like you actually need a little bit of help. This is the practice room.
What?
You're going to practice running away, screaming, taunting, terrorizing, and more than anything else, we're going to train you to suppress all of your instincts.
Oh, suppressed by instincts.
Yes.
But we're not gonna die, right?
Probably eventually you will die, but
Well, yeah,
that's
everybody dies eventually, but like we're not gonna die.
today. No.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah, cool. Can I be assigned? I have a question. I'll put my hand up.
Yes.
Can I be assigned on guard duty, where the exit or the door is to the outside?
I love the initiative. Those are for some higher up minions, and right now you need practice. It's very clear.
How come I need practice and those guys get to hit walls and stuff?
I mean, do you want me to say it?
Yeah, say it. Say it. What? I don't get it.
You're fun. It's surprising that you survived this first challenge. You are objectively inept.
I'm sorry. Bad guys won, paladin dead. So I don't think we're inept. I think we're actually pretty cool, right? Right, guys?
I think we're pretty cool, but I'm also really happy just moving my shiny rocks. And Busy just starts like taking her rocks, moves it over there, and it's like, and then takes the rocks and then moves it back. And then takes the rocks and then moves it back again.
That's the
Mimsy,
job.
I got a proposition for you. You know, or doing orientation for all of these goblins and skeletons, it's got to be a lot of work, and it's got to be overwhelming for one mimic, right?
Wow. Thank you for seeing me.
What if you had a goblin assistant?
Were you supposed to be invisible?
Oh,
I was confused because you could talk in my brain before.
oh, I can do, yes, I can do both. And I guess what I mean is thank you for, no one's ever understood how hard I work. I don't sleep. I only sleep when I'm supposed to be
Clearly.
sleeping in a room.
I could do your job, and maybe you could like take us, a little rest, take a little sleepy sleep.
I really like the idea of that. I need you to understand that I have practiced in the practice room suppressing my own instincts for many years before I was elevated to this role.
I can suppress my instincts. Tippy wants to do deception on Mimsy and
Okay.
showcase how good he is at suppressing his.
Okay, so the main way that people are trained to suppress their instincts is to not go towards danger, or to willingly go towards danger, or to not flinch when
Right.
danger is presented. So Mimsy's going to be, there's one way that we could test where your instincts are and how good you are at them.
Shoot. Yeah, sure. What?
Mimsy goes and like turns into this massive like mimic that with like teeth, like rows and rows of teeth, the tongue flaring out, like licking you, spittle flying on you, and just like very, very abrupt, very surprising, and gets really big and starts like chomping in front of your face, not touching you.
Bibbs drops his pickaxe in surprise, like, "Oh my god!"
But let's see if Tippy suppresses his instincts.
Okay, so what sort of roll is this?
What is this roll? This, I don't know. Is this mythellect? Is it being clever or is it being physical? Maybe it's both. It. Let's do both.
Oh, okay.
I think you're prepared because you knew this. You knew something was going to happen. You didn't know
Right.
what. So you can roll 2 dice. You are not able to be helped. So you're going to roll 2 dice for mythellect and 2 dice for Grimfist. So
Okay.
mythellect, you want to roll under your number, which is 4.
Great. I rolled a 3 and a 1.
Okay, that's under. Perfect. So yeah, your brain is computing. It's being filtered through what you know to be true, which is this chest is not going to attack you. And now you want to roll a Grimfist, which is over your number, 2 dice.
Okay. Over my number. God, I have to like roll 2 5s.
A 5 or a 6, yeah.
I rolled a 5. I have a 5 and a 2.
A 5 and a 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yes, your instincts are visibly suppressed. Your mind is like, it's like calm. Like your face is wildly calm. No one's ever seen you this calm before. You're monk-like. And meanwhile, Mimsy's going nuts. His jaws of the chest are opening and shutting, and his tongue is flying everywhere, and you're being covered in this purpley mucus. And you don't move. Nothing in your body moves. However, you do pee your pants.
For sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Agreed. Yeah.
Okay. And so Mimsy says,
Stone cold.
Yeah.
And I'm peeing my pants.
Yes.
Be stone cold looking at Mimsy.
Yes. And a puddle is forming underneath you. So Mimsy just like shakes his entire head and goes, "Wow, I really underestimated you." And right where the P is, he draws a circle, not an X, on the floor and says, "I think you're right. You can be trained to be lower middle management in Unzug's dungeon."
I agree.
I wish I had some fluid to expel. That seems to be the trick to getting a quick promotion.
My bones are so dry.
It's so dry in my bones. Too dry for middle management. That's what they say about this girl.
Okay, so you all have, so we're gonna end there. Wild, so great. Thank you for playing. You're now part of this dungeon. As the years go on, you're going to be one of the oldest ones working there, the ones who have lasted the longest, and it's going to continue to surprise other people that you survive these experiences. And I guess the one thing that you'll take away is that people start whispering and talking throughout these years of like, what's going on? And there is something that is protecting you. It feels like there's something bigger than you, and everyone's whispering, and it seems even bigger than Unzug's lair, that like everyone's dying off, but somehow you are not dying off. So there's, I mean, for lack of a better term, like you've got plot armor, but in the world, it is a thing as well. Like people are discussing what could be going on with you all, but you don't know yet.
Why won't they just die?
Yeah, why won't they just die? So we'll just end it there, and hopefully that was a lot of fun. I thought we were going to be end it sooner, but shenanigans, right? So great job, everybody, and it was really, really fun.